Now then, we're in the battery shed, and this is just a brief reminder to everybody to check your batteries. Now it's sort of July, the height of summer. That's the charge controller clicking there, and everybody will be busy doing all sorts of things, so just take a bit of time out and check your batteries. I've been doing that today and just topping them all up, and there are 3 packs here of 24, and we've used actually about 20 litres of distilled water to top them up. They weren't super low. The electrolyte had just got to the level of the separators. They all wanted topping up, and also the slave battery that runs all the 12-volt stuff needed topping up as well. So it's just a reminder that in the height of the summer, just keep an eye on everything. There was an interesting thing which I'll talk about as we scan across with the camera. So there's one pack, and just there in the background is the slave battery. Now I'll put a link to the video that describes how that works. That's on constant trickle charge though, through, where are we, that light bulb. Yeah, so that is effectively 50 volts to 12 volt DC converter. It's just a light bulb. Watch the video and that'll and you'll get the idea. I trickle charge the tractor battery that way. There's another pack there, and there's another pack there, and then if you remember, there are 2 packs of 12 volts that I renovated a couple of months ago. Again, hopefully I'll put a video link to that. They're there, and they're being trickle charged with my spare batteries, because there's 3 spares there, and they're trickle charged through that light bulb. Anyway, right back there in the distance, focus, there, that last link there, just at that nut there, you could just see a remainder of it, a little hint of white there. There was a bit of white underneath that nut, and whilst I was doing all this lot, of course you're aware that things need to be looked at, and just knock the camera there. So where are we, that one, and so I undid it, and lo and behold, the bit of white was a sign of corrosion in the joint, but there was something else as well, something as a problem with the link. And I've come across this before. I might have done a video about it before, but I'm going to do it again because it's so important that it needs talking about. So I undid those 2 nuts, lifted the link out, and it felt solid. Yeah, no flexibility in it all, which meant there was corrosion within the link itself, underneath all the insulation. So now we're going to just go and put a knife through it and take it apart, because obviously I've replaced it. That sort of thing. The problem with one slight duff connection is that pack doesn't get charged as well. Now if you've only got 1 pack, then obviously the whole pack is not getting charged and you start to notice. But if you've got 3 packs in parallel, then the other 2 packs are working fine. You don't tend to notice it until you start your specific gravity tests and realise, hang on, this particular pack is lower than the other one. Yeah, and of course specific gravity tests are very important, and I'll be covering those in a video in a couple of weeks time, where I was repairing a solar system, an off-grid solar system for someone who hadn't got a clue what was happening, and they'd taken some of it apart and etc, etc, etc. But so that was I'm going to repair this, but I'm also going to educate you. There's no point repairing something and the people who own it still don't know. Yeah, it's got to be, in my opinion, it's got to be, I'll try and educate you to the level that you can understand. So there you go. Sorry about the charge controller clicking in, but it's well sunny. So let's just go and to the outside leg vise and have this link apart. So here's the link, and the first thing is, you'll notice, focus, is it's swollen a bit, but just there, there's a little depression, and there's one there, and it means an engineer at some point has stabbed through the insulation to get a meter reading, and of course over time then acid fumes gets in there and starts to rot it out. So let's just zoom out a bit. The fact that it's not smooth finish is a key thing, and the fact that it's absolutely solid. Listen to that. Yeah, that's another clue. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought, but if you see down here, that's all corrosion there. Oh, yes. So we've only got a couple of tails that are actually there. So that was a disaster waiting to happen. And of course, if you've only got one pack of batteries, then, and this starts acting up, I've seen it where it's rotted away and then these tails have just started to weld together. But you know, if you've got a high power solar system and this is arcing and stuff like that, you get problems with your inverter and all sorts of stuff. So you can see that was basically rotting away. So when you get a little bit of corrosion round a terminal, investigate. Don't just think, oh, I'll do it next time, or oh, it'll be alright. Takes 10 minutes, have it apart, clean it up. If you get a problem with the link, then change it. So when I'm in the scrapyard and I see batteries, even though I think the batteries are duff or not worth having, I'll get the links off them and the nuts. So I've got a box of them, and you know, having some spares, you can do it there and then. Otherwise you'd end up having to take these, clean it right up, and then solder a cable to it and then paint it, leaving an area there and there for the terminal to bolt to. but then you have to put loads and loads of terminal grease or Vaseline, petroleum jelly around everything just to make sure it doesn't start rotting. Or of course you could use lead. Yeah, you could fold some 3 or 4 layers of roofing lead or a piece of old lead pipe, beat it flat and drill some holes and use that. But you're better off using the right thing if you can. There you go. Hope you found that useful, informative, interesting, etc, etc. It's a little short video packed with information. So hopefully you've subscribed and click the like button, thumbs up, whatever you want to call it, and I will catch up with you soon. Cheers for now.